All right, I want the record to show that none of this that we are going to talk about in the next 10 minutes was my idea. None of it.
I thought you want 33% of the projects.
I do want one of the projects, for sure, but
okay.
we had not even, like, the dust had not settled from finishing this project, and Tom's like, well, should we go to the home improvement store and get some lumber to build a deck? And I'm like, what? What?
That didn't just come out of the blue though. Dawn has mentioned the deck for a long time.
Okay, so today we're gonna show you 3 different projects. They would all run $500-ish. 3 different projects.
Based on our calculations.
Yeah, based on some fuzzy math. 3 different projects that all of us in our household want different things, and so if we were to tackle another project next, which project would it be? All right, so we'll start out with Tom's project first, which is to add a deck onto the front of our house. The very first time we came to look at this house before we bought it, they actually had blueprints out on the table from...
And I whipped my phone out and I took pictures of them quick.
From when they added on to the house and they put the addition on.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the plans, one of the options they could have chose had a little deck around the front.
Right.
Out front here.
Right.
Which would be nice.
And so for years, like before we redid the dining room area, I actually tried to push Dawn into replacing that window and putting like a patio door in, or like a just like glass door. And then we do like a concrete slab out the back side of the house, because we have nowhere for a grill outside of the garage or the driveway. We have nowhere for a grill, nowhere to sit around and like visit outside. Like there's just, we don't have like a outdoor entertainment. I mean, granted, yes, we have 30 some acres, but no outdoor entertainment. And
unfortunately, the porch is nice, but you can't, when you're out there, you can't see the kids and where they're at and like what's going on in the rest of the yard.
What else about the porch?
What?
Does anyone ever use it?
Not as much as I maybe would have thought.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah. But the other reason
That's interesting.
The other reason I didn't like the idea of putting a patio off the back of the house was because the only thing there to look at is a shed. Like there's nothing back there.
A beautiful, glorious 40 by 80 pole shed.
Yeah, nothing to look at. So if we were to add on some kind of space where we could sit and grill in that, I would go for the deck. A couple things, we are at some point gonna move our house, so...
No, right, it's very true. So every little thing we do, it's like, well, are we gonna wreck this again when we pick it up and move it? Or is it just a sunken cost, a total waste? Potentially
we can move it with the house, but we would reconfigure how the house attaches to the garage and stuff, so it might not... Layout wise, it might not be what we would choose again.
I have envisioned this whole deck that I would build, and I would build it in a way, granted it wouldn't be attached to the house, so it would still have to get uprooted and moved with everything else. But I think I could salvage most of it.
Okay.
I think.
And the only way...
Rusty judgment.
Yeah. The only way that a deck it wouldn't be a big deck, and we do have some leftover treated lumber from when we did our garden that would help keep the price maybe around $500, but it's gonna be pushing it to do that one in $500. All right, so project number 2. So project number 1 is adding a deck to the front of our house. We would tie it in with our stairs at the end of the house. It would be very cute. I like the idea. I'm just, practicality wise, I'm not sure about it. My project is to give the front of the little barn a makeover, because, listen to me.
I'm listening, I hope they are too.
Because when you drive into our driveway, it's like one of the first things that you see, and it just needs some TLC. We have done nothing to that barn since we moved in. And so my idea would be to rebuild the barn doors. So Tom rebuilt the ones on our big barn, and they're beautiful. They look very nice. So it would be to rebuild the doors to match out of treated lumber, to rebuild the door on the upper so that it matches as well. And then the one window on the right side is boarded up. And so to take one of the windows that matches from the back side of the barn and move that up to the front, take the board off and all that. So then we'd have 2 matching black metal windows, clean them up, repaint them, And so just to clean up the paint on the front of it so that it looks red again and not so dull, take down, we buried the electrical, but it's still like the poles on the outside of the barn. So why this would be a good project is because everyone sees it. Even if we move the house, it doesn't matter. Everyone's still gonna see that when they drive in. And one of my favorite things about this farm and why I wanted to buy it was because of the red barns. But to me, it looks kind of like it's in disrepair when you drive in.
It's not in disrepair. These barns are in actual great shape.
They are.
They show some sun wear on the tin. Like, people would kill to have tin. No, they would. Okay, so this is all brand new to me.
Okay.
Didn't you talk about some kind of an extra roof thing you wanted to put on it or something?
Well, right, but if we're doing a $500 budget, my long-term goal would be put like an overhang over the door that matches the pitch of the roof, because like when it snows in the winter, the snow piles up in front of the door and you go in to do the chickens and it's hard to get in and all that.
I'm sorry, we don't
need to go into who's doing the chicken chores right now.
Do you do the chores for the chickens?
That is the project I would vote for because I feel like we've gotten the front of the house looking nice now, and I would like it that the barn looked nice when you drive into.
Alright.
Okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Project number 3 is a new...
I'll actually show it to you.
A new swing set for the kids with a sandbox.
So we have never bought our kids or built our kids a brand new or like a legit sandbox thing.
So this swing set I got at a garage sale for $15 when we first moved into our house. Tom didn't even want to go pick it up because he was like, it's not even worth driving to go get. It was white. I spray painted it green, but it's starting to fade off. I thought it was gonna be like a one summer temporary thing, and now this is our 4th summer here with it. But the kids, they still play on it a ton. It's like all they need.
Okay, true. But what's been happening now is they play on it less because the swings are like these plastic little seats, and they're made for really small kids, and so our kids don't fit on them anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show that to you.
So what I like about this swing set is that it's beautiful. I mean, it looks really nice. We would put it kind of in line with our garden, right?
Put it next to the garden.
So we do that, and we put a sandbox underneath. The boys would love to have a sandbox.
Yeah.
My only thing is that
I already built a sandbox. It's just at your parents' house.
We're playing it a ton.
They're playing it every time we go over there.
I don't see it as a necessity. Like if we're gonna spend $500 on something.
Wait. Okay, you don't see. This is gonna get ugly.
Yeah, let's not. Everyone knows what you're thinking. So I just don't like. Would it be nice? Oh yeah, sure, it'd be beautiful. Of the things going on around our house, do we need to do it? The kids play well outside. They spend a ton of time on the trampoline. They've been playing like in the trees lately. So would it be cool for them? Yeah, they would like it. But would it make it so they play outside more or anything like that? Maybe a little. I don't know.
The boys, we would never get them in the house.
Yeah, they would for sure like a sandbox. I mean, when we added up the cost of the lumber, what was the lumber just for the swing set?
$400.
It's kind of a lot. I mean, it's these big. How big are those posts in the ground?
6 by 6.
Yeah, so they're huge posts. I mean, that's how they can make it that style. I mean, it's cool, but...
Yeah, they get concreted in. That's how you get away from the V-shaped one. Yep.
So, I don't know. I don't know. I could see us doing that down the road.
You can't tell what Dawn would prefer, can you? I'm actually... I suggested the deck. I would also like to build a swing set for the kids.
So your order would be...
I'm split.
Deck, swing set, and you don't want to vote for the barn. I could be persuaded into the deck because I do think we would use it a lot, and it'd be nice to have someplace to sit outside to watch. Like, the nice thing about where that deck would be positioned in the front of our house is you can see the whole yard. So you can see where the kids are, you see what's going on, you can see the road, so we can sit and watch the road.
Watch our trees grow up between us and the road.
Keep an eye on our neighbors.
No.
So I could be persuaded. Again, it's just is it worth it if we're potentially gonna move our house? And so if you haven't been following the conversation of us moving our house, it'd be literally picking up our house, putting a new basement under it, and shifting it somewhere on our property too.
What it would be building a new basement like behind our house, picking this house up, setting it on that basement, and then filling in the old.
But you know what's funny is that now that we got this space done and we're kind of getting things put back together in our house, I feel like for us that doesn't feel as urgent right now.
No,
now we're kind of like, you know, we're kind of good right now with the space we have. And so it felt earlier on when we moved in here, it felt like we're gonna need to do that soon. We need the extra space, put a family room down there and stuff. And now I think we're kind of like, well, we might stretch that plan out. So that makes me think like, well, the deck could be okay because we're not feeling as much urgency around doing the new basement and stuff. And so even if we got like 3 years out of it, if we could keep the budget around $500-600, that would still feel worth it to me. So that's where I go back and forth. But I also know like we just finished this big project and now like Tom's working on his truck. Do we really want to take on another project right now?
Yeah.
So
it's Minnesota, your husband's willing, it's warm out, let's go for it.
The only nice thing about outdoor projects is like you can just come inside and leave it. So that's nice too. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm curious to know what you guys think.
So I predict the deck I believe would be like a 3-4 day project.
Okay.
The swing set I would say is probably about the same.
Yeah.
Your project, so I didn't really know what it was you all wanted to do on the barn.
You never listened to me.
No, it's not that. It's you've told me so many different scenarios on the barn.
Yeah.
The barn's probably about the same amount of time. It's just all less fun.
For you. The deck's probably the most work. Digging footings and
No, I think, but I think at least in my mind, the way it's working is it's super gratifying.
Yeah, and it'll be the most enjoyable.
The barn's like, meh. It's still a barn that we don't really use.
Yeah.
No, I like them. I don't want them gone by any
No,
means.
right, but it's not a priority to you.
Nah.
All right, well, are you surprised that Tom's wanting to take on another project already? I was surprised. I was really surprised, actually. So, let us know what you think. Which project would you vote for? And yeah, I'm just curious to see what you think. So,
I'm curious to see what people, like, how much, like, so I'm going back to the deck because that's one I think we're gonna do.
I think Tom has a lot of confidence that the deck's gonna win out.
I do. I have faith in my people.
Yeah, Team Tom. Here we go. Yep.
I'm curious, like, we're ballparking a deck cost probably way less than.
I thought you had like estimated the lumber and stuff.
I did.
Like maybe I'm getting faulty information.
I did. I did. But then I think we talked about different sizes. That's where
that
it
makes
changed.
A big difference.
Is when we had like a 12 foot by 12 foot as what we were looking at.
I think would be fine. I mean,
right.
We don't have like big parties at our house or stuff, so
maybe we'll start.
Maybe. I guess
maybe
if you all
y'all can come
we'll
over.
need a bigger deck. Yeah, okay, so that's where we're at. I'd love to know what you think. I'd also love to know, yeah, if you've built a deck, are we just being ridiculous with our cost?
Yeah, what's it gonna cost? How long is it gonna take?
Do you have any tips?
How much value does it add? We're all about adding value. Granted, we have no intentions on ever selling, but we're just curious.
Which the freezer hasn't come back out yet, so we could get his take on that too. So
I think we'll probably have the upstairs like wrapped up, totally done
before we have him.
We have him come out, so we can do the whole shebang, kit and caboodle.
Okay. All right, so let us know what you think. Give us any tips or advice that you have because that's always helpful too. Or let us know, do you have any projects like this going on at your house? So that's always fun to hear too. So, all right, well, we hope that you have a really great weekend and a thumbs up is always appreciated and we'll definitely look forward to visiting with you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, vote for the deck.
Oh, they know what to do. We don't need to talk about it anymore.